Hello and welcome to another segment of Haley and Dustin Open Heroclix Stuff. Dustin, why don't you tell them what we're going to open today?
Is that the name of the segment?
I can call it whatever I want.
All right.
That's not what it'll be titled as.
Today, we're opening a new brick of the Heroclix set Avengers Defenders War. Well, it just came out, and yeah, we're going to see some good stuff in there.
Let's get started.
All right, as with before, with the last one, if you caught our last one, when we unboxed Deadpool, we'll go through 10 packs. We're going to pick one figure in each pack to examine and analyze because there's, it would just take a long time.
Can I go
Start us
first?
off? Yeah, why not?
Okay. I don't even know what's in this set.
Yeah, this is totally a surprise for you.
Okay, so we got a common Hulk, common Captain America, a lot of commons here. Common Atlantean Warrior, uncommon Gray Hulk. We got two Hulk in this pack. What? And super rare Claw. So he's got a trait called Hard Light Focus Vibranium Conduit. Give Claw a free action and choose a standard attack power. Claw can use that power this turn. So a little bit like Batman.
Yeah, similar. There's a lot of pick a power guys out there right now. Batman, Jakeem Thunder is a popular one. There's an Iron Man in this set as well, which you might run into.
Alright. So he's got a special movement power called Sound Travels. Claw can use sidestep and movement ignores hindering, blocking. What's that?
The characters.
Oh, they changed the symbol. I didn't even know.
Well, it's just a rat. It's the click space.
When he uses sidestep, you may roll a d6 and he may move up to the result instead of 2. Special defense. Can't hurt what's made of sound. Claw can use super senses. If Claw would take more than 2 damage, he takes 2 damage instead. He's 110 points and 6 clicks of health.
Yeah, he's not a super robust guy, but the powers he has makes him very versatile. Being able to choose powers helps a lot. So if you don't read Black Panther or are familiar with Claw, he is made of sound. So he's a vibranium smuggler, weapons dealer, and he's trying to steal some from Black Panther, and he falls into a bunch of it and explodes, and the mysterious properties of the vibranium turn him into pure sound. So he's very hard to actually damage, and he's very sneaky, and just like touching him can damage you. So try to capture that in his power. That's why he has crazy super senses and damage dampening, and the big thing he has is the sidestep. So he uses normally sidestep moves you 2 spaces, but instead you can roll a d6, and if you roll higher than the 2, you can use that result instead. And sidestep, of course, is a free action.
That's great because it doesn't hurt you. So if you roll under the 2, you've still got the 2.
Yeah, because it says you may use the number instead, but you can also, if you roll a 1, you'd be like, yeah, I'll just use the 2. But since he uses that and he ignores the terrain, he can sidestep through walls, through terrain, up to 6 spaces away, potentially. Since it's a free action, you can follow up with a Pulse Wave or a Psychic Blast, whatever other attack power he chose, and so you can really sneak over there and get a shot off. He's actually potentially a very damaging figure.
Really good. I'm excited to use him.
Now you got the super rares. This probably won't be quite as exciting. Nope.
I see a Jessica Jones in there.
You do. How can you tell from a distance that it's Jessica Jones?
She's got a sassy pose and the same exact clothes she wears on her show.
Yep, there you go. All right, well.
Hi, I'm Jessica Jones.
I got.
That's how she sounds, right? Hi, guys. I haven't seen the show.
He's never watched the show. She's missing out. All right, so we got common Hawkeye, common Wakandan Warrior, uncommon Hawkeye, uncommon Swordsman, and Jessica Jones.
Who's got the Archer pack over there?
Some figures, are in multiples and are meant to be used with like the shifting focus mechanic, which you could probably remember from World's Finest, where the Batman and Superman would swap back and forth. A few of the figures have that, and other ones just have kind of a throwback to the old rookie experienced veteran system of the old Heroclix sets. So you just have more like pumped up versions of the characters. Which is the case for like the Hawkeye and the Swordsman here. Don't really switch, but they do have different dials where that are different like points in their lives. So I'm going to actually talk about the Swordsman in this pack. just because he's very useful for like the ID and call-in cards and everything. And since those are introduced, you know, there's a lot of figures are designed kind of with those in mind. I mean, he's a good little 40-point character. He has blades on every click on his dial. So even though he only has a 1 printed damage, I mean, you can always roll, you know, higher than that and potentially do quite a bit of damage for his 40 points. So he's made for a real economy type package. But his trait makes him fairly good. So he has a trait called Parry. When swordsman or an adjacent friendly character be hit by an opposing character, I can use Blades, Claws, Fangs. You roll a 2d6. If your roll is equal or higher than the attack roll, the attack is evaded. This one's only 40 points. So it's nice in this timeline where we've got a lot more small figures and teams have a lot of characters. He has a good place on that. But also those small characters can call him in. And then not only can possibly get a good blades roll, but then with the parry, since it works for him or adjacent friendly characters, he can defend them from adjacent close combat attacks as well by getting a good 2d6 roll.
And speaking of the ID card, that works in handy too, because you're obviously going to want him to be adjacent to friendly characters to get off his blades that he gives them.
Right, yeah, so he gives them blades too, or if they already have blades.
You just want him next to his buddies.
Right, so he's a big close combat guy, and he helps everyone next to him, offensively and defensively. For 40 points, he's a huge bargain, especially for that ID card call-in, so he's good for that.
Pack 3, so Common Wasp, Common Iron Fist, Common Black Panther, Uncommon Vision, and Common Machete.
I think machetes are rare.
I said that and then I went, why did I say it that way? Is he a rare?
Yeah, silver.
Oh, it looks white. Although Machete is the rare, we thought that Vision might be a little bit more of an interesting character to look at. I wanted to highlight him because we haven't really gotten good Visions in the past, so it's nice that there's actually a, I don't want to say like playable Vision.
Well, it's been a long-standing complaint that the Vision has a lot of really complex powers.
And we haven't seen
that.
And
every time that, well, they try, but every time you try to put him being able to phase and fly and shoot and be super dense and super strong, you know, it's hard.
Everything. So he has not a whole lot of special powers going on, but he's got a trait called Shifting Focus, Density Shift. Give Vision a free action if he began your turn on the map. Replace him with another character with this trait on the same click number, which we'll see a lot in this set.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 characters, I think, that have a trait like that.
So it's not unique to him, but that's one of the interesting things going on with his card. He's only 50 points, and he has Indomitable, which is nice. You don't see a lot of characters for that low of a cost with it, and that's something that I always want, so I actually will probably get a lot of use out of this character, especially with a 19 defense, super senses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't beat that for 50 points.
His damage levels aren't real high, 2, and he goes into 1 with Ranged Combat Expert, but it being penetrating damage and
his attack is still an 18, so you can very easily put all of the Ranged Combat Expert into damage and be fine.
Well, his attack is a 10. His
defense is an 18. Yeah. We're going to pretend I didn't say that.
Man, 18 attack. 50-point figure. That's pretty impressive. I mean,
no other characters had it before.
That's higher than 2,000-point Galactus, I'm pretty sure. So, man, that's why everyone's talking about him online. You know, to your credit, you were looking at the Vision stats upside down. So he has a 1 movement, he has a 1 movement flurry, 18 attack blades.
I'm never gonna live that down.
He has an 8 damage with empowerment on it. I mean, woo, 50 points. So if we pull the other dial, see, we'll maybe put the 2 of them up next to each other so you can see what he shifts into. Because this is what they did to kind of capture the Vision's varied power set. Was that his other one that he shifts into? Because this is him like when he's intangible, and so the other one is him when he's like super dense. So the other one can't fly, and it's kind of slow, but he has like impervious and 3 damage and exploit weakness, and still a great economic package for 50 points. And if you get used to switching them back and forth at the right time, you can get a lot of stuff done with him. I saw someone in a wrapper. I thought that that is a rare, I guess, but it's not who I thought it was by any means. All right, we got common Luke Cage, common Whiplash, 50-point Doctor Strange, the uncommon Wakabi, who's another Wakandan, and then Batroc the Leaper. Let's look at Batroc here. The Leaper, who even has a bad French accent on his name powers. It's great. His movement power is, they call me the LeapPad.
LeapPad?
LeapPad. Yeah, it's spelled that way. Leepair. LeapPad.
LeapPad.
That's
good. I like it.
I feel like
flavor.
I feel like he's a Monty Python Frenchman. You know,
Kind of. I mean, look at this costume. Are you supposed to take that seriously?
You know, yeah. No, go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
He's America's favorite Frenchman. Bat Rocket. Hamilton reference.
All right, you got me on that one. You never read the Avengers Defenders War? I never seen Hamilton. Okay, so Batroc's really good. He's, again, little dude, 40 points. I like him a lot. He's got improved movement, hindering terrain, elevated terrain, and character. So he's, unless it's a wall or a piece of blocking, impactful terrain.
He's the leaper. What else would you expect from the leaper?
Right, he is leaping over it all day. So his movement power, he can use sidestep. If he has one action token, he may use sidestep twice this turn, and may be given a free action to make a close combat attack. He's an incredibly mobile piece, which is nice. You can sidestep him off the board, and when you get within range of somebody, so within 12 squares he can attack, because he can move 8, then it gives him one action token, and then he sidesteps twice up to the character, and then he makes a free attack, which he has precision strike also. He has a 10 attack precision strike, and he can cut through people's super senses. Or even if they're a big guy, he can, his damage can't be reduced below 1, so he can ping him and maybe knock the Hulk off of his impervious for his teammates or anything like that. He has a decent 17 defense with combat reflexes, so when he gets in close, he's got a 19. He's hard to hit. He's only 5 clicks deep, but he's
only
got
2 damage.
Yeah, but for 40 points, and if he was had much higher damage than that with as mobile as he is, being able to move 12 squares and attack, I mean, he might be too much. But he has precision strike for 3 clicks and then 2 clicks of exploit weakness, so he's always able to do some damage.
What are we on? Number 5. Who we get this time? Ooh, someone I like. Daredevil! He is a common Wasp again, common Black Panther again, uncommon Black Widow, and we got the famous Dormammu and Loki duo. I don't think they're a duo though, right?
They're a fake duo.
Together on the
yeah,
dial.
They're on there, but they're not a duo.
Yeah. So they're the super rare and definitely the most interesting sculpt. So that's the one we'll be highlighting. I don't know what's going on. Like, I think Loki's just bent down, or is that the way he's supposed to be?
Yeah, he's trying to convince Dormammu they should work together to destroy the Defenders and Avengers together.
It's a lot of leg and muscle strength to keep that angle.
Yeah, well, it's an old school comic book pose. It's very dramatic, but he's gonna like a Faustian devilish pose, like Dormammu, I'm crouching down and whispering things at you, and Dormammu's just drinking it up, like oh man, he's so happy. Look how happy Dormammu is.
So they've got a few traits. Meld the dark dimension with yours. Give Dormammu and Loki a free action to remove an object within 8 squares from the game and place a -1 bystander in that square. Once per turn, when an opposing character is replaced, brought onto the map from an opponent's sideline, or one or more opposing bystanders are brought into the game after the beginning of the game, after action resolve, you may place a -1 bystander adjacent to Dormammu and Loki. That is a mouthful, but very straightforward. My mindless minions. When another friendly character of 25 points or more is KO'd, after actions resolve, you may place a -1 bystander in their square. A lot of manipulation putting the -1 there. Power struggle for the evil eye. When they miss an attack and have no action tokens, after action resolve, give them an action token.
And put a -1 in the square. Now
I know, that's what I was waiting for. The -1, his token stats, it's got 9 attack, penetrating blast, and sidestep, so not terrible.
And 16 attack, right there with energy explosion.
Happened one time, get over it.
Yeah, this guy's cool. It's he's got a decent little dial, as you guys can see. He's more stealthy up front, which is pretty true of the original Loki. Actually, a lot of Loki figures begin with like a Psychic Blast and Stealth. It has a very trickstery dial. Mystics, which is appropriate for both of them. Psychic Blast Prob is appropriate for both. And they have very similar power sets, which I think is probably what they were going for.
But
here.
it is fun to see kind of the blend of them as well.
Right, and Dormammu's side, a lot of it comes from the mindless ones. Of course, his minions that he controls, the denizens of the Dark Dimension, or he doesn't really control them so much as he steers them, I guess, because they've threatened him before too. But being able to put out extra bystanders in there really helps, because when you get like a one big dude like this, sometimes they can get out-actioned by your opponent and surrounded.
It's interesting that that's what basically all their traits are, is just trying to get those guys out.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting kind of manipulation.
Onward we go. Alright, well, here's a really terrible pack. It includes common Iron Man, common Captain America, uncommon Ben Urich, uncommon Punisher, and
What? It looks like just a regular Doctor Strange to me.
Well, it's an uncommon, which is also, I should have a rare in the slot, but there's not one. But it's also uncommon Electra with Doctor Strange on the top. So, let's have a look at that.
Let's see whose card we got.
Let's have a look at that. It's a Doctor Strange card. So it's
Electra's dial too.
Yeah, he just got put on the wrong card top.
And he should have probably been a rare.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna look at Captain America. So Captain America, he's real basic. He's 50 points. He's got sidestep, energy shield deflection, going to combat reflexes, which also...
And the Hydra team ability?
No, not this one. One nice thing, 50 points. He has 3 damage across his entire dial.
That's nice.
And Indom.
Consistent.
So yeah, another like little 50-point guy who's got Indom. Great consistency. His special damage power is Respected Leader. Captain America can use leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When he does, on a result of 6, you may also remove an action token from each friendly character with the Avengers keyword within range.
Kind of new. I feel like that's always his trait, is something that has to do with leadership.
That's kind of his bag, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a close combat guy, and he's good at giving orders. So he has a 5 range, so he's a little on the short side. That's not at all uncommon these days.
50 points.
4 through 6 leadership, that's great. And for 50 points, he's actually really good.
In general, I feel like you can't mostly go wrong with Captain America. There's always something pretty solid with him. Is it Doctor Strange or Electra? Let's find out. It's a common Doctor Strange. Here's Electra. There we go. There she is. Wasp in another costume. Uncommon. Uncommon Karen Page. And rare Purple Man.
Yeah, the Purple Man.
Let's look at him.
Hey, Haley, how does Purple Man from that show you haven't watched sound?
He likes to say, Allons-y.
Yep.
Is that what you wanted me to say? I don't know why else you would ask me. So he's got a trait. Once a victim, always mine to control. Purple Man considers opposing characters with pheromone tokens to be adjacent and have a 0-point value for mastermind purposes. I'm going to guess, we're going to find out in a minute what pheromone tokens are.
I bet so.
Alright, so his movement ability, make you do whatever I want. Purple Man can use mind control. When he does, modify his attack value by +3. He doesn't take feedback damage for using it, and hit characters are given a pheromone token. There we go. One thing I would like to say, I have never had a character who takes damage from mind control.
Well, those characters that take damage from mind control, which is part of its normal function, they exist. Nobody uses them.
Yeah, and then he has a special defense as well. Surrounded by willing victims, Purple Man can use Mastermind. When he does, he may remove a pheromone token from an opposing character to transfer damage to that character.
If he hits you once with his Mastermind, you get a token. And then no matter where you go after that, he can give the damage to you when he gets hit instead. And he can also always target you with mind control. So there's no running away from him. If he's got you once, like, he can use your character for the rest of the game until he burns off that token. And he's actually a very dangerous piece.
Yeah, it sounds like he'll be kind of scary to go up against. And then, just pretty much his traits are all that you see on the dial. He's not a damage guy on the dial. He's doing his damage with all the manipulation.
The mind control. Yeah, he's one of those guys. If you hit him early, he's not a problem because his only defense power is that mastermind, and he has a 16 defense with no other defensive ability. But so if you hit him before he mind controls somebody, he basically is not going to have any mastermind fodder, and then he's going to take that damage and die pretty quickly. But if you let him get to where he can mind control somebody, he's very dangerous then. He is also a wild card. He's got the Minions of Doom team ability, so he can copy like a Batman TA or something like that, so he can hide, he gets stealth from that. Gives him some extra options. On to the next one. Got common Doctor Strange, common Punisher with a rocket launcher, cool. Common Daredevil.
Yellow Daredevil.
Yeah, with the yellow suit, no less. The uncommon swordsman. Okay, I think we're looking at Nuke, because Nuke does things that are interesting.
Oh, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Which wrestler is that?
I think you're looking at Nuke. I think you're thinking of Sting, like during the Great American Bash, maybe one time when he had an American flag painted on his face. This is pre the Crow days Sting, back when he was a California boy. He also, he could very well be like Brock Lesnar with Sting makeup on, and it would be totally...
That's Brock Lesnar cosplaying.
Right. Yep. All right, so Nuke here is a throwback, once again, in some ways, to the Jessica Jones TV series. I'm sure that's why he's in here, because one of the side characters in that show was revealed to be kind of a very toned-down version of Nuke. What made him Nuke was he had access to the red, white, and blue pills that he's obsessed with. That's reflected here in his character. So his trait is red, white, and blue pills. At the end of your turn, you may choose one pill type. Red pill, this turn Nuke can use Battle Fury and modifies his attack value by +1. White pill, heal Nuke 1 click and he can't attack this turn. Blue pill, Nuke can use Precision Strike this turn. Gives him kind of a cool varied dial. The +1 attack is cool, though it doesn't do very well with his early dial because it gives him Battle Fury and he starts with Running Shot and Energy Explosion.
It's actually a pretty common trait for characters to have, like, choose one of these 3 options to do. It's nice to be able to swap out whatever is convenient for you.
Yeah, this one's cool. It's every turn, so you can you'll probably use Precision Strike early on and then switch to either the healing or a +1 attack later in the dial when he's in close combat mode. Either way. So he's not bad. He's at so many points. He's not an outstanding dial, but he's got some versatility. Could be cool to play with, and is honestly about as good as this character could probably ever expect in Heroclix. All right, so let's have a look.
There's a cool Black Panther. He's on a throne.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a super. Yeah, all 3 super rares in this brick.
We got here Wakandan Warrior again, Hand Ninja, Atlantean Warrior, Electra, different costume. Not Doctor Strange.
That's the one that was Doctor Strange before, yeah. So at least they got
and the super rare Black Panther and a really awesome throne. Heck yeah, I'm going to show off T'Challa.
Yeah. While you're looking at him, real quick, can I just make a note that the Atlantean Warriors did something really neat with these guys. Their dial is the same on every click, and it's the same as the Atlantean Warrior Pogs that the Civil War LE Namor produces. So you can use them as stand-ins for the Pogs, and on any click, they're the perfect fill-in for them. So they're really cool.
All right, Black Panther. So he's got a trait. Highest authority in the land. Friendly characters with the Wakanda keyword modify their attack values by +1. That's nice since this set has a lot of Wakanda warriors. I think that might be why they decided to do that.
It makes too much sense.
And then he has a special damage. Sacred Ruler of Wakanda. Black Panther can use leadership but succeeds on a 4 through 6 like Captain America. When he doesn't succeed, after actions resolve, you may place Wakanda Warrior from outside the game in an adjacent square with an action token. So it's almost kind of like Maximus and the
Alpha
Primitives.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
So on a result of 4, that character begins on click 3. 5, character begins on click 2, and 6, character begins on click 1 and doesn't receive an action token. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of role dependent, but it could be interesting. This is a majestic looking figure for only 65 points.
We're getting a lot of really nice Black Panthers. I think they're anticipating the movie.
Light cap, cool leadership. He doesn't do a whole lot otherwise, other than like produce a bunch of characters.
I think that's his big thing, though, is bringing in those guys. I know that it's kind of more dependent on the leadership role, but I think that's kind of the big draw of playing with him, is trying to get those guys out and making the kind of Wakanda theme team.
Right, and he's got Outwit in the later part of his diet. He's got Barrier.
I mean, he's a dude in a chair. He just points at things and says, do that.
At the time on a Wakandan theme team, that'll be his whole thing, is building that theme team with all the little characters and seeing how that turns out.
I'm actually really excited for that. I want to play a Wakanda theme team.
Oh, sounds good. We'll have to build one. All right, our final booster from this brick. We got a Black Panther, an Iron Man, another Black Panther.
Is it the same Black Panther?
It is not.
Oh, he looks it's the same. Oh no, it's not the same sculpt.
No.
All right.
Kirigi is a hand dude there, and the rare Black Widow. Black Widow doesn't interest me much, despite being the rare in here, so I want to switch over to the Black Panther and kind of show, since we got two of him here.
And we just got him in his chair, and we're talking about him.
Right, so this gives us a nice chance to look at him, because even though it's from two different eras of the Black Panther that he's supposed to represent, he is 30 points in both dials, and they gave him a shifting focus. This Black Panther is going to get a lot of play, I think. So he's 30 points, and on this one, this is his throwback dial, the one with the mouthless mask. It's a throwback to his original Infinity Challenge dial, because he's super cheap. He's only 30 points. I think the original was 27, if I remember right. Avengers TA, Stealth, and Outwit. And that's basically all he's got.
Oh, so he's a good little support guy.
But yeah, he hides in the bushes. Stealth is easier to bust these days than it used to be, but it's still always a good defensive power to have. Outwit for 30 points.
And he'll get a stat boost from himself if you play him with the Wakanda theme team.
Yeah, if you play another Black Panther, it's true. But then, since he's a shifting focus, he's got another kind of ability. So if they get up close to him while he's in stealth because they need to come in and attack him, you can give him a free action, switch him over to the other Black Panther for 30 points, who has a 10 attack Blades, Claws, Fangs, going into... He's only 4 clicks deep, but then he goes into an 11 attack with Exploit Weakness.
Can't beat 30 points,
yeah,
Blades.
This guy's really
can't.
good. I'm happy to see him. I'll use him quite a bit. All right, so we opened our case and displayed that, or our bricks. But I did end up opening a full case and pulled the chase from that, so I thought we'd come back and talk about that just for the heck of it. So he pulled Tiny Optimus Prime.
That's my joke. I said that off camera, and then you stole it from me.
You said she looked like a Transformer.
Yeah. And then you made it sound like it was your original idea.
So no, actually we got Ironheart as the chase. It's Riri Williams is her name, and she's a young lady who is in the Iron Man comics currently as Ironheart. Though this isn't her current suit. She actually is in an Iron Man suit now, like full-on Iron Man gear. This piece represents the first homemade battle armor that she wore. And it's what got her the attention of Tony Stark in the first place. Now that he's currently out of the picture, thanks to the end of Civil War II, she has taken over, not Stark Enterprise, that's being run by the business folks, but she's taken over kind of the superhero-y side of things. So this one is an interesting piece, though, because it's supposed to represent her weaker armor, and it is. Like she's kind of a chaotic piece. She's 6 clicks deep and has good stats and...
Oh yeah, but she's all over the place. She was like, Outwit, Prob, Perplex, Prob, Outwit.
Yeah, and her stats aren't necessarily great or anything, but they're great considering she's only 25 points. She has 6 clicks of health, but she's not necessarily going to see all of them. Every time that she gets hit, and this is part of her trait, she gets a broken armor token. And she rolls a d6, can't be re-rolled, and if the result is equal to or less than the number of armor tokens, she's KO'd. If not, you turn her to that click number and give her another broken armor token. This can't be ignored. So instead of taking damage normally, you give her tokens and roll the dice and see how far, how well her armor holds up. She potentially, if you roll really well, could take 5 hits and see the entire duration of her die. If you roll very poorly, she could die with 1 hit. But that's okay because she's only 25 points, which makes her basically the cost of a Pog. She, who flies and opens with Outwit, I mean, that alone, 9 movement sidestep
Support piece
flyer
right there.
without wit. Yeah, and 10 attack, only 2 damage, but that's worth 25 points anyway. And then potentially going along her dial and getting probability control and perplex and everything, and occasionally a 3 damage on the dial is really pretty good. So that's what we pulled today. I didn't pull my number 1 want from the set, Hydra Cap.
So that was our unboxing video for, I'm going to say, the month, because we're going to be back next month with What If. So you'll be seeing